Café Anyway. Look at that.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
episode 2626. 26. Wow, it's the show so nice we named it twice.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast here at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Hey, do you know what today is if you're listening to the show and your name is Sally? It could be National Vanilla Milkshake Day. That's right. If it's June 20th, then that's what you can say. Vanilla. That's what you don't want to be.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
You don't want to be vanilla in this world. You want to be something exciting. Like Rocky Road.
Mike's
or Heavenly Hash.
Daily
Or
Podcast.
that other one.
Yeah!
That I can't think of at the moment. No, Neapolitan. That one. Hey, it's also National Hike with a Geek Day. Oh, and still in the ice cream mode, National Ice Cream Soda Day. And it is World Productivity Day. So listening to this podcast may be antithetical to that, to the spirit of what today is, if you are listening to this on June 20th. When I hear the word milkshake, of course I think of that song. I know you do too. It was by American singer Kelis, or is it Kelis, from her third studio album, Tasty. And that came out, believe it or not, 20 years ago. It was produced by the Neptunes, and I believe Pharrell was part of the Neptunes. The song was originally offered to Britney Spears, but instead it was given to Kelis. It was the lead single from her album Tasty. And milkshake in the song is used as a metaphor for something that makes women special, according to Kelis. There you go.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And it gets used all the time in commercials and movies. And it made it all the way to number 3 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. Yeah, Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo wrote and produced it. They're known collectively as the Neptunes, and they did a lot of stuff for Britney Spears too.
Magnification.
And the recording took place at Hovercraft Studios in Virginia Beach, Virginia. There you go, everything you wanted to know about that. It received critical acclaim upon its release. The late great Basil the Boxer, he says he wasn't a big fan of the song, but, well, he did like to dance, so maybe as a dance song he enjoyed it. But apparently it was while reviewing the soundtrack to the film Mean Girls, in which a milkshake is featured, Heather Fairs of AllMusic wrote that the song describes the movie's playfully menacing undercurrent and called the song fantastic, and that it is basically a 3-minute tutorial in sex appeal. Okay, that's enough about that. So enjoy today, whatever you do, if you have a milkshake, and it brings all the boys because of the allure of milkshakes. And did you know that there is going to be do you drive a Cadillac? How about an Escalade? Or an Escalade, as I knew someone to call it once. General Motors is introducing an all-electric version of it. It'll be called the Escalade IQ. All electric. So everybody throwing themselves into the electric world. And it was today that our president showed up in San Jose. I don't know if he went to Tesla or not, but he was down in Tesla is Fremont. But he was down Moffett Field, I think he landed. And it was really windy here in the Bay Area. So windy and cool, and it might even rain on Thursday, which is very unusual for California. So we're looking at that.
The Fascinating Material Project.
Americans are not doing the housing market. People are Zillow scrolling The good, the bad, and the ugly. Wannabe home buyers in the U.S. might have been encouraged by some news that home prices had their biggest annual drop in more than 11 years. This was last month. That's the good news. The bad news, housing supply is ridiculously low, in part because folks scooped up homes during the pandemic when interest rates were near zero. Do you remember that? Did you know that the median home price here in California is $815,000 now? Dang. Only 1/5 of Americans think it's a good time to buy a home, which is a record low. However, in the South, where they're having horrible weather and it's really hot and they got tornadoes, it saw lots of tornadoes these days. The South saw more home sales in April than in any other region. So they're doing really well. Now, Target is expecting organized crime losses to jump by $500 million. They said that organized retail crime is going to fuel $500 million more in stolen and lost merchandise this year compared to a year ago.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain
The
seated.
shrink will surpass $1 billion. It can be difficult to quantify theft since shrink includes inventory loss from other causes such as employee theft or damage to. And this is sad. Violent incidents have increased at Target stores. I do not want to go. I will not go. I can't even think. Just recently, or was it, when was that thing that happened where somebody went into a Target store, just grabbed a bunch of stuff, walked out? Well, it happens all the time. Oh, but a friend of mine saw that. That's right. He was telling me, yeah, somebody just walked right through with a bunch of stuff, didn't even pay. So, yeah, that's one of the wonderful things in the world of Target. As we go outside at Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth.
Anyway,
I have been getting a lot of stuff lately, some interesting things that just came down. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So apparently it's going to get really hot this summer, although not hot here yet. So PG&E, our local electricity and power people and gas people, they sent me an email and they said with summer here, which means lots of fun in the sun, the weather can get extremely hot and quickly go from fun to dangerous. Extreme heat can be life-threatening, so learn what extreme heat is and how you can protect yourself. So this is what they told me. What is extreme heat? Now, there's a heat storm. Generally, heat storms occur when temperatures exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit over a large area for 3 days in a row. We saw that last year. We saw it in Portland and Seattle. A heat wave, however, is more than 48 hours, 2 days of high heat at 90 degrees Fahrenheit or higher and high humidity at 80 degrees relative humidity or higher. That is what constitutes a heat wave. Now, humidity here in California is not such a bad, doesn't happen that often. So what do they suggest? Go to a cool place. Oh, what a breakthrough that is. Consider going to an air-conditioned mall. Yes. And it's interesting because I spoke to someone who's about 20 years younger than me and asked, hey, is it still big with your generation, with your friends, with your peeps? Do you still enjoy going to the mall? Because we stopped going to the mall years ago. People in my generation, my peeps. And he said, oh, no, we love the mall. We go to the mall all the time. So it's still a thing, apparently. So they say go to an air-conditioned mall or a library or other public place that's got the air conditioning going on. Go to a neighbor, friend, or relative's house that is air conditioning, or you can visit a local cooling center, and they give a phone number out for that. PG&E, I guess PG&E would have that at their website as well.
We love you, Mike.
Stay in the shade. Direct sunlight can speed up the effect the heat has on your body. Did you know that? To quote Bison Bentley, do outdoor activities in the mornings or evening hours, but avoid the afternoon heat and drink lots of water, even when you're not thirsty. Avoid drinks with caffeine or alcohol. Oh, did I mention what the podcast picture was?
Wow.
I just don't know why I suddenly thought of that. Probably because I was on a walk about a week ago in Podcastro Valley up in the Columbia area, and I just thought I'd take a little picture of myself since I haven't done that lately. So see that at mikesdailypodcast.com. I'm so vain. But yes, a beautiful area. There's a beautiful view behind me. That's why you should see the picture. The great view behind me, overlooking the bay from Podcastro Valley. A cool shower or bath is also a great way to stay cool. Isn't that amazing? Cold water all over your body when it's hot. It just takes it down. Don't take a hot shower, though. That's totally... Now, I have friends, Latin friends, that say in their culture that... And I don't know specifically what Spanish-speaking country I am referring to. I forget what it was now who said this to me. But there's, a thing about eating hot soup when it's hot. That could be anywhere, really. But yeah, some people believe in that. I don't see that. That does not work for me. And then take breaks during the day. Especially if you are feeling dizzy, if it's breathing has become difficult, or if your heart is pounding.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
So check the weather forecast, though, definitely beforehand to prepare for hot days. Keep an eye on the weather forecast. It's pretty easy to do these days with the help of smartphones. Have access to a working phone. Make sure you have a cell phone or a hardwired single-line telephone. Keep an emergency contact list nearby. Have a buddy system during a heat wave. Have someone such as a family member, a friend, or a local volunteer check in on elderly or frail people. Check in with your coworkers if you work outside. Check up on loved ones. Call your neighbors, friends, or relatives if you believe they might be susceptible to heat exposure. Have a backup plan in the event of an outage, including a backup power supply if a member of your household depends on life support or medical equipment.
Magnification.
And PG&E has a smarter energy line that you can call too. And then, of course, get help right away if you have onset of dizziness, rapid heartbeat, nausea, headache, chest pain, mental changes, or breathing problems. This could all be caused by the heat. So, I once tried mowing the lawn in Alabama when I lived there, in the heat, in the humidity. And because my legs were getting bit so often by mosquitoes, I didn't want to wear shorts, so I wore these long workout pants, and I covered my arms too. So I'm basically in what you would wear in the cold weather, in this 90-degree humid heat. I almost passed out. Not a good idea. Then I realized I just might as well get bit. Oh yeah, that's what they invented insect repellent for. They say here to keep your thermostat at 78 degrees Fahrenheit when you're at home and 85 when you leave your home. If you're elderly or frail or sensitive to extreme heat, lower your thermostat to a cool and comfortable level to avoid heat-related illnesses. Keep lots of bottles of water in the refrigerator. Switch off unnecessary lights. Use your microwave to heat food instead of your oven. That's a good tip. If you have a pool, reset your pool pump to run during off-peak hours of the day to conserve energy and use energy-efficient products. And here's one last tip about all this is that you want to keep one of those spray bottles filled with water, put it in your fridge. You will be amazed when you're hot and sweaty if you just spray that on your face and your back or other exposed skin. For me, that's my whole head. It's so good. You feel instant relief. outside a Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Look who's here.
Hello, Michael Mash. It's Madame Rootabega. All of those tips are very helpful. Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm hearing something in my ear right now. It might be a mosquito, or it could be something fired off that wasn't supposed to. And I'm talking about something technical that the podcast listener doesn't care about. Do you like it when I talk about stuff like that?
Yes.
Do you like it when I sing songs by Eve 6?
Yes.
How about Maroon 5?
No.
And what was all that deal about bands in the 90s that had numbers? Blink 182, Jackson 5. Oh, wait, that was the 70s. There was the Matchbox 20. Oh, the list goes on. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, that's all fascinating stuff there about when it gets hot in the summertime day.
Yeah, summertime. And the living's easy. Do you know that?
You know, I do know that summer starts this Wednesday, summer solstice. And then it's my cat, Rocky the Cat's 1-year birthday. He's going to be 1 on Thursday. So looking forward to that. And looking forward to the next time I bring you a podcast, which hopefully will be soon. I didn't say it yet, but today is officially, at the moment that I'm recording this, Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth to you. I think it's the first federally mandated or officialized, however you say it, day, a Juneteenth day. I think the second one that we've celebrated together. So very good there. And with more ways to reach me or chime in, you can call me at 510-228-4640. And with more ways, it's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!